What is going on, everybody? It's happening. Friday, we have a general Nintendo Direct. Yep, it's coming September 12th, 6 a.m. Pacific. It's going to be 60 minutes long with upcoming information on both Switch 1 and Switch 2 games. 60 minutes. There's so much to talk about here. There's so many rumors floating around and things that I have to talk about, things that I've got to show you guys because I'm starting to get a little too excited. I do want to give a special shout out to Zach from Switch Force on YouTube. Everybody's been giving him flack ever since he correctly predicted the partner showcase. I don't know why, like he got that right. Why wouldn't he get this right? Clearly he was dialed in. He called September 12th. He said it was going to be on a weird day, which was a Friday. He was right since the very beginning, which, you know, I'm going to listen to everything he's saying at this point. So him and Nate the Hate, they know what they're talking about. But yes, it's happening. But before we dive into all this craziness, I want to thank today's sponsor, Garfield Kart 2. They sent me a free code to their brand new kart racer. In this game, you'll race against Garfield and his friends across 12 distinct maps. You can zoom through the city and construction zones, take it to the beach side, and you can drive through pirate ships and coves, or even through the Wild West and through a gold mine. There's no telling where you'll end up in this game. And including Garfield, there's a total of 8 characters to choose from and tons of kart customization. You can even customize your kart even further to fit your preference, not just for stats, but also for looks by changing the paint color. Hit the road in Grand Prix and you'll be put up against 4 consecutive races to see who is the best in the pack. Or feel free to go up against 8-player lobbies online or even play 4-player split screen locally. Every single race has tons of wacky items, colorful worlds, and amazing music, and even little character animations that reference the series as a whole. There's just so much charm and love poured into this game. And the best part is the game is easily accessible to all ages. Younger children and even older adults will have a blast with this game, as it's very easy to pick up and play. The wacky items and wacky races reminds you a lot of Mario Kart, but with a Garfield twist. So if you want to jump into the world of Garfield Kart 2 and get your hands on a copy yourself, click the link in the description down below. And huge thanks to Garfield Kart 2 for sponsoring this video and sending me over a copy. Oh boy, this Nintendo Direct has so much writing on it. It is a really big deal for Nintendo, considering the fact that they skipped a February Direct to start the year. They had one in April, but also skipped the Summer Direct. And they've been skipping Directs even as far back as last year, so things have just been different and weird with Nintendo's schedule and stuff, but clearly people have been demanding information on the games that we already know about, like Metroid Prime, even The Legend of Zelda Age of Imprisonment, and of course we clearly have like Splatoon Raiders, a bunch more to talk about here, but we're going to get into everything that you can expect. But you're going to want to make sure you stay around until the very end, because there's something that I want to talk to you guys about and show you that may have got me too excited. But let's just start off with what to expect right now. This is a 60-minute show, which is kind of wild because this was the same length that the general Switch 2 Direct was. Like, we have never had a full 60-minute regular general Direct. You know what I mean? It's always been specifically for something like a game console. Switch 1's presentation, Switch 2 Direct was 60 minutes. Never just a general Direct. So that is just outright insane. 60 minutes of just game information. That tells me that there's something else in here. And I think a lot of us can, you know, deduce that to being a Mario 40th portion of this Direct. I really do think they're going to have like a 15-minute Mario portion. The Switch 2 Direct, like 20 minutes of that show was dedicated to the Switch 2, just the hardware overview and stuff and what the Switch 2 was. So that definitely does get me excited that we are getting a monstrous show. First off, we have Metroid Prime 4. Of course, we're going to be getting information here. It would make no sense why we wouldn't be. This game is probably coming out in December or October, so they got to start getting some info out. I do think there's also, you know, the potential for a separate Direct to be announced, kind of similar to what they did with Mario Kart World. Remember, they opened up with Mario Kart World and said, hey, tune in like a couple weeks, you'll get a Mario Kart World Direct. I feel like they could open with Metroid Prime 4 and say, hey, tune in a couple weeks, you can get a Metroid Prime 4 Direct. Something very similar, which is what I'm expecting. Showing us a brand new trailer. The game also just got rated in Brazil, I believe. So yeah, we can look forward to that very soon. And yes, personally, I do think this is either going to open the show or be a big segment in the middle of the show. Maybe they want to open with something else a little bit bigger, a little bit different, which could be Splatoon Raiders. I really think people are sleeping on this game. It's going to be like the sleeper game of the showcase. I guarantee you. Like, people are going to come out and say, like, this is like one of my most anticipated games. It's already one of my most anticipated games, and I've barely seen anything of it yet so far. So I do feel like this is a game that could definitely start the show. It just kind of has that vibe, in my opinion. It could be in the middle or start the show. Same with Metroid Prime. So I think one of those two are going to be at the beginning, and one of those two are going to be in the middle. But yeah, I think those are our two major reveals, which may not seem huge because none of them are technically new announcements. I mean, even though Splatoon Raiders was barely touched on, yeah, but still, I think both of those are going to have a heavy presence in those two spotlights in the beginning and then in the middle. I am expecting some news on Age of Imprisonment. I don't think it's going to be a lot, though. I think it's just going to be another like overview trailer, like a short one, 2 to 3 minutes, and I feel like they might just have their own separate trailer or own separate direct later on. If this game even is in this year, that's another thing. I feel like it could have slipped into January of 2026, maybe even February. I feel like if it's this year, to me, it's screaming December, like at the very end of the year, where that's what's making me think Metroid Prime 4 could be October. But who knows? You know, I'm not going to sit here and try to predict release dates because Nintendo's been all over the place with them, and who knows what's coming out and when. But yeah, just getting some more information on this game is just pretty much expected at this point. Now, at first, I wasn't going to add these two games. They were announced like a long time ago for 2026, like from the beginning of this year. So that told me right away that it's going to be a while until we hear about them. But they did say that we're going to learn about Switch 1 and Switch 2 games. And we know of 2 Switch 1 games that are slated for 2026, one being Tomodachi Life, Living the Dream. I think they are definitely going to touch on this. I think they might even have 2 segments. Maybe the first segment is just like Switch 1 games and also Switch 2 edition games. And then the second segment is just going to be strictly Switch 2 games. But I think they touch on both of these games here. I'm really excited about Rhythm Heaven. But yeah, I think both of these are just going to get short little quick trailers, you know, little 1 to 2 minute trailers just showing off the games since they are still relatively small for a lot of people. I think Rhythm Heaven more than Tomodachi Life. So just quick little glimpses giving us some more trailers and maybe even a release date for these games. Now for some third-party information, Switch Force apparently hinted at something with 777s happening in this Nintendo Direct, saying that the Direct will hit a little jackpot for games. 777s actually, 777. Nate the Hate adds Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is coming to Switch 2 and Xbox Series in 2026. And it seems like this is one of the games that Zach was talking about from Switch Force. And based on the replies from Switch Force's tweet, it looks like another one will be Resident Evil 7. As far as that third one, who knows? A lot of people guessed maybe it could be Black Ops or Far Cry or 007, and he's pretty much rejected all of those so far. Apparently, there could also be a Pokemon spin-off game announced here, because Necro Felipe claims that there is a spin-off game coming, and according to another Pokemon leaker, Riddler Coup, something new that's not Legends ZA related will be revealed sometime in September. Necro Felipe backs up the claim, adding on that it's supposedly a new spin-off game that will show up in the Direct this week, whether it be something along the lines of Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, Pokemon Rangers, Pokemon Stadium, Coliseum, or maybe even Hey Pikachu, who knows, or is it going to be something completely new? Yeah, but we normally don't get a lot of Pokemon news in Nintendo Directs that's normally saved for Pokemon Presents, which they didn't have one not too long ago, you know what I mean? So it's a little weird to me, but you know, who knows what this Pokemon game is going to be? Maybe it's just something completely different that we're not even expecting. Sakurai, not too long ago, just gave us a Kirby Air Riders Direct showing us over 40 minutes of gameplay for the game, so I highly doubt they spend too much time on this game unless it's, you know, showing some type of mode or something that Sakurai had been hiding. So maybe there's some type of story mode or something, some type of special new thing to show off. I couldn't imagine them just showing a trailer of more stuff that we've already seen. So I'm hoping that maybe there is like a surprise or something that they want to save for this general direct that Sakurai just wanted to wait for this moment. But with the game coming out in November, I'd be shocked if they just decide to completely ignore the thing, unless Sakurai wants to hold a separate presents later on to talk about that extra thing. Something else that I think sounds really likely is more updates on that Nintendo GameCube NSO. We only have about, I think, 4 games on GameCube NSO right now, so hopefully maybe they announce like a batch of others coming. I could see something like maybe Luigi's Mansion 1 coming for October would be really cool. Maybe some other classic Mario games and stuff for 40th anniversary, which of course we're about to get into. But yeah, I mean, I would be surprised if they just, you know, completely left this silent and quiet, especially first year of the Switch 2, where people want to see more GameCube games on that app. Now, I know a lot of that is just stuff that we already know, which is, you know, where I was kind of mentally already thinking of, and that's why at first I wasn't generally that excited until I heard that it was a 60-minute show. That tells me that there might be more surprises than I initially thought. I am expecting at least one massive game to be revealed for next year. Maybe they do 2, or maybe, who knows? We get like 4 new games announced for next year. But I think there could be like maybe a couple smaller ones and at least one big one to get everybody talking and excited. Now, what form does that take? Is it going to be the next Animal Crossing? Are we going to get a tease for the next Smash Brothers? Is it going to be the next Luigi's Mansion? It's really hard to say. But I have a prediction. And I hate predicting this, but it could be Mario. Of course, we are now in Mario's 40th anniversary month, and they haven't had any Mario festivities yet like they did early in September back for the 35th in 2020. And then we started hearing rumors that they were going to put stuff within the actual General Direct for Mario. The 60-minute show, it's making a lot of sense now. I would be very shocked if the last 10 to 15 minutes of this General Direct wasn't dedicated to Mario, being Mario's 40th celebration. I mean, it only makes sense. So yes, I do think we're going to be getting some Mario festivities toward the end of the show. Maybe they do it in the middle. Who knows? Maybe they start the show with Mario 40th information. I highly doubt it, though. It's always something that feels like it's at the very end. It's what they did with Zelda, after all, not too long ago, where they actually had a little Zelda information at the end, showed a Zelda Game & Watch, and I think they revealed like a new trailer for like Skyward Sword, or maybe it was like a new trailer for like Tears of the Kingdom, something like that. But yes, I think Mario's going to have like a segment at the end of this Direct where it pretty much follows suit, where we see a couple smaller games, maybe like a port, a remake, or a remaster of some old game. I know a lot of people are hoping for Galaxy 2. I am as well. It's one of the only Mario games that we don't have that are mainline besides like 3D Land. Yeah, it's Galaxy 2, so I'm hoping that we get Galaxy 2. I know some people were asking for like a collection pack of the past 2D Mario games. I just want Galaxy 2. I mean, I'd take it in any capacity that they give it, so that would be very exciting for me. I think for sure, actually, this is where we see Mario Kart World DLC. I could not imagine them going through this presentation and still just leaving Mario Kart World empty. I think then we can just pretty much chalk it up to the game as just it's a wasteland, because there's no way. I mean, this game needs new characters, some new cups for Knockout Tour, and just some quality of life stuff. Maybe they can announce some future updates, DLC, new tracks, something to get people playing this game more. Because right now, I just feel like not a lot of people are interested in Mario Kart World. Maybe you are still, but at least for me and everybody that I know, no one seems to be really playing this game or have any interest in this game right now. So this is probably one of the things that I'm expecting like 100% guarantee in this show. But who knows? Nintendo has done weirder things. I think a spinoff is likely as well. We just got information of a tabletop baseball game for Tokyo, where it's pretty much just like a Mario baseball tabletop mini game thing that you can play and you can purchase. It's a toy. But yeah, 2 renders on that toy are completely new. Rosalina's never been in a Mario baseball game and has a completely new render with her outfit from Mario Tennis Aces. And then we have Donkey Kong, obviously with a completely new render here. And it's leading a lot of people to believe that we are getting a new Mario baseball game. I am pretty much completely expecting some sort of Mario spinoff in the form of a sports game. I would take baseball or I will take basketball. As a huge baseball and basketball fan, grew up playing both as a kid and even as a young adult. I would love either. I love Super Sluggers. I love Mario Hoops 3-on-3, so seeing any of these would make me happy. I love golf. I'm tired of golf. I am very tired of tennis. Hopefully it's a new sport, or maybe like it's a new sport altogether. Maybe it's finally time for Mario American football. Would make me pretty happy as well. I even think getting an update on the movie makes a lot of sense here. Just letting us know about the cast of the new movie, just giving us a brief overview of, any new characters, like if the Koopalings are here, who's voicing them, and just getting people excited by, giving us some information about the movie. I mean, a little tiny bit of information can go a long way when it comes to like movie stuff. So I'm looking for anything regarding the movie. I'm definitely down for. Now to the part where I told you to stick around. I've been trying to just tell myself, just be happy with whatever we get in the show. And I'm going to. Like, I am not going to be upset if I don't get a certain thing. But this happened this morning. Yeah, I'm trying to relax because clearly I want to, like, get my hopes up through the roof now. I mean, he's been right about everything. I just don't know what he's alluding to. Maybe he's just alluding to, like, Mario's going to be in the show. You know what I mean? Sure. Like, maybe we'll just get a Mario baseball, Mario movie thing, but what if he's not just alluding to just Mario spinoffs here? What if it's something else? Andy Robinson from Video Games Chronicle also said, I'm in a big Mario mood this week. And just Switch Force saying, they buy the new systems for the mustache. I mean, you don't buy a new system for a Mario sports game or a remake. I mean, come on! Nintendo always ends their shows with a big final reveal. And it's normally like the next huge game that they have coming out. Like the next big thing. And it's probably going to be the first big game for next year. So what is it going to be? Well, if they end the show with a Mario presentation for the 40th, it would have to be something Mario related, right? I couldn't see how they would say, okay, we're going to finish the show with 15 minutes of, 40th Mario celebration stuff. And then say, that's all the Mario stuff. Here's one more reveal that's not related to Mario. That wouldn't even make sense. You know what I mean? So in my eyes, that last reveal would, at least assuming that they're going to end the show with the 40th anniversary stuff, that last reveal would have to be something Mario related. What else would it be? You know what I mean? What else would be big enough to end the Direct, but with something Mario related? 3D Mario, baby, it's time. Calm down. I'm calm. Let me relax. Let me start off by saying, no, I'm not saying this is happening. Like, I know I'm getting hopes up. Temper expectations. Like, do not expect this game to... Do not expect 3D Mario, okay? Do not expect it. I don't want people saying, like, I got people's hopes up, like, and it didn't happen. It very well might not happen. If it doesn't happen, I'm not going to be upset. Whatever. It is what it is. I'm just at that point now where, like, I can't get upset anymore about it not being there because it's just not been there for 8 years. So, if it's not there... Oh, well, I'm sure there's going to be another massive game revealed for next year, something, Now, if there's no big games revealed for next year, then we have an issue. That's a whole nother problem. But I'm just saying, keep your eyes open, keep your mind open to the idea because, I mean, it just makes just too much sense. But then again, Nintendo doesn't make any sense, so who knows? But yeah, that's all the information. I'm on a mental high. I think. Even knowing that this Direct was going to happen because I fully believed Switch Force, I was only like a 5 out of 10 excited, maybe like a 6 at the highest. I just didn't feel like this show was going to bring anything super exciting since we know a lot of the stuff already, and it's going to be, recap of stuff that we already know with a couple exciting things. But I think, the 60-minute presentation and the fact that there's some word of mouth out there that's getting me a little too excited about stuff that it hasn't even been confirmed. Who knows? But I'd say I jumped up to like an 8.5, 9. We'll see. Now, like if somebody comes out and straight up says 3D Mario will be here, it'll be a 15 out of 10, and I won't be able to sleep for the next 2 nights. So that's that. But let me know in the comments down below what you are expecting from this Nintendo Direct. Are there any games that you want to see? Any news on games that are already announced? And do you think it's time, us Mario fans? Is it time for us to rise up out of the ashes? Probably not. Who knows? But thank you for tuning in. Make sure you leave a like and subscribe before you head out. And I hope you all have a blessed day. See you guys.